questions as well, and defense partnership questions as well.
Oh, thank you very much. What is popularly known as the first island chain for us are countries that have both a bespoke maritime boundary with China and the Pacific Ocean, principally, of course, Japan and the Philippines. What it means for us, basically, since we pragmatically face a common threat of violations of our territorial and maritime territorial integrity and sovereignty, then we work together to create deterrence, to create closer cooperation, and to provide a cladding for increased economic, social, and cultural cooperation between our peoples within a framework of stability and safeguarding our converged interests, which of course are hostile to the interests of others who are actively promoting their own to the disregard of rights of smaller countries such as Japan and the Philippines. So what it means for us, it is an important convergence fulcrum for us. And on that basis too, on the Philippine side, a lot of defense partnerships have evolved. And we would not have been able to do this if our situation were not based on international law and articulated with transparency, clarity, and credibility. And these partnerships are not, do not result in any objections at all, save for the People's Republic of China. Now, for ASEAN and defense, of course, we would like to see a code of conduct. However, let me step back. Why is there a need for a code of conduct when we have peremptory norms such as UNCLOS, such as the UN Charter? And the code of conduct is a collective code by a group of nations on the one side and with a single actor on the other. So perhaps the problem does not lie within ASEAN. The problem lies with the counterparty to the code of conduct. And because with that counterparty, namely China, the claimant states of ASEAN, 4 claimant states, have different issues. And for us, we will not sacrifice our territorial integrity and sovereignty because our Constitution does not allow us to do so. And to do so would be to subvert the popular, democratic, and free mandate that the people gave our political leaders, unlike some autocratic systems where the mandate comes from above, dictated down. In our country's mandates, we have to defend mandates to our populations. We have to defend every international agreement we make to the populace. They are free to question all our activities before a court, who will judge whether or not our acts are based on and not inconsistent with our fundamental laws. So within us, within ASEAN, there is no need for a code of conduct. We have active boundary disputes. However, we trust each other. Our militaries work side by side, and which is why we are actively and we are very happy that there is a cessation of hostilities in the Thailand-Cambodia border, which we are all invested in maintaining that peace. The problem lies with the outlier. And perhaps they would like a vigorous code of conduct so they can bargain for a status quo, which is unfair and unacceptable to a lot of our claimant countries. South China Sea activities, sea encounters, once again, we are smaller countries. It would be foolhardy for us to initiate encounters, particularly in areas where we know, because we resort to legal means, we have no right to be in. Unfortunately, once again, the encounters are caused by an occupant without any right or any legitimate claim that they are willing to demonstrate impartially before an international tribunal, such as in the arbitral award. That is the cause. It is not the Philippines or Indonesia or Malaysia or Brunei or Vietnam, for that matter, which is the cause of encounters at sea.
Minister,
It is China.
Let us perhaps leave it there, so I can give a few minutes to the host nation to offer your concluding thoughts and pick up on any of the particular issues that were raised and addressed to you. Minister, please.
Thanks, Bastian. I think I have a couple of minutes, and I thought there were 4 sets of issues addressed to me, and perhaps, as you say, a set of concluding thoughts, which will be very short. First, on what we expect the guide to do, we have participation from the Baltic states, the Middle East, the Oceania. First, I think we need to establish a common understanding of the international laws and norms that should enable freedom of access for the critical infrastructure, and we need to share information of how we can protect them. We need to develop real capabilities in real time of how there might be threats to such systems, and very importantly, as we have seen today, how and when we have apprehended someone who have damaged the critical infrastructure with bad intentions, what can we do? So these are the practical things. How do we establish the norms to allow things, good things to happen? How do we detect when bad things happen? And finally, how do we take to task the people who do bad things? Second issue, what can Singapore do and contribute to the Gulf? We will always do what we can for 2 reasons. First, to address the immediate challenge, as we have done before with Combined Task Force 151 and 153, but more importantly for us to establish the international norms necessary for us to uphold UNCLOS and the international rule of law. Third question, very good one. What should ASEAN always remember? Just one thing. The competition is